This video is sponsored by Skillshare. More about that later. All right, so we're moving forward. Good line of sight, off in lane position 3. Spotted the hazard going 10 below speed limit. Okay. Oh, we always watch out for those people. Accelerate, 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 accelerate. Or decelerate now, because you had to.
Now you're gonna fucking stop.
Whoa,
what the man? God damn.
Yeah. I mean, guys, you guys are smart. You guys are absolutely smart. I think you already know what's happening here. Remember, the whole goal of this is we're trying to figure out what was the common factor. I want to see it in the chat what you think the common factor might have been. Name the common factor here. Do you think speed was a problem? Do you think positioning was the problem? Do you think ego was the problem? Ego can translate to having too much speed or, you know, getting into a bad position like fighting, right? Also, there's a cool dog right there. I think dogs are amazing. Great dog. Hey, what's up? How you doing? The music is insane. All right, so as soon as you see that, it's not that uncommon. So it's a common thing in a common situation, but it's a common factor, common hazard. So part of the planning is position for safety, locate hazards. Boom, we located it. Now, how do we adapt to this hazard? It's not a threat yet. So we're not navigating any threats yet, plan. So how do we adapt to a possible hazard? We have good space cushion. We have a good lane positioning. We've got lane position 1, lane position 2, lane position 3. We're in good lane position. We also have a good escape route to the right if we absolutely had to. And remember, escape routes are forward, backward, side to side, whatever it is you can do. Okay, so you can accelerate, decelerate, or swerve left and right. So when we see this coming up, and we see this person starting to accelerate a little bit, you see the tires spinning. It's like, oh, he's going to probably want to come into our lane. What can we do right now? Right now, to be a courteous driver, how about you roll off the throttle and match his speed, especially if there's nobody behind us, and allow him to get in. Oh, novel concept, right? Being a courteous driver will produce, safer environments for you as a motorcycle rider. But let's say we don't do that, which is what we do here. Okay, we're in the blind spot now. We're in the blind spot. This person's coming over. Now what can we do? We have two options. We can accelerate through to get in front, which we can do right there in that right turn lane. Maybe get ourselves back in the left. But that puts us in different situations, right? So if we accelerate, possibility of one of these vehicles merging into us, also a possibility of not getting where we want to go. Once we want to go straight, that's a right turn only. Massive problems for us because of this dumb. Hey, but it's going to keep us safe. So when I was saying, hey, roll off the throttle, apply the brakes, this person's automatically going to go in anyway. So we got to just either let them in or accelerate through. So accelerate, 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 or decelerate, 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 let them in. Those are the two options you really have, and could have done better on this one. So what saved him there was deceleration. The horn, okay, that's fine. Just realize this is one of those things that if you honk at somebody, it might not produce the effect you want. So now that we're right here, we go back to planning. Position for safety, locate hazards. We're not in a good position anymore. This car driver, this Ford, took our position, took our safety away from us. Now we are not in a position for safety. We locate a hazard. Now we have to adapt to that hazard, and we adapt by putting ourselves back into a position of safety. So look at all this room. So this person right here took our position for safety. We're going to adapt to it by moving over. Do it now. Don't wait until it becomes a threat. Don't wait until you have to go into red stage. Orange stage you should be in right now. Don't wait until you go into red stage or brown stage. You need to get yourself out of that situation so that you're never having to use that.
Now you're gonna.
So now he had to swerve out of the way. Why couldn't we have just positioned a little bit earlier? You're constantly adapting. You want to be 2 steps ahead. Constantly 2 steps ahead.
Fucking stop. What the?
Could have been a bad driver. Could have been a driver not paying attention. Could have been a completely white zoned out driver. Doesn't matter. Our safety is paramount. They're not going to make sure we're safe. We need to make sure we're safe. I want to talk real quick about the Smart Rider principles, the T portion, the teaching and mentoring other riders. So if you're out there with your friend, how are you going to teach and mentor them? How are you going to get that information out to them? Well, this is something that's going to help you out. This is from Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people like you. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and start teaching other riders. So what I had to do was learn how to bring out the information that I had in almost a story fashion. That's really going to help you out. So what I did was I took a class called Powerful Storytelling Today, Strategies for Crafting Great Content. You're going to get very good insight on what it is you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, and what's really going to connect with the audience or just that one writer. The cool thing is that it's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So what it is that you can do. Well, my first 1,000 subscribers that click the links that in the description, you're going to get a free trial of a premium membership so you can explore your creativity. All right, so we're gonna move forward once again. Right there. Side of the vehicle. Side of the vehicle, everybody. Let's keep it going. Sorry. Get out of there. Get out of there. You got traffic behind you, buddy. All right, watch out. Good line of sight. Good space cushion. You're good. Just leave it as is. You did what you needed to do. They're out of your hair. They're completely out of your hair at that point. Okay, so before we really jump into this one, remember, side of the vehicle. That's very important. Side of the vehicle means there's a possibility they're going to go in front of you. I'm tired of having to say it all the time, but here's the thing. We got a bunch of new riders in here. Perfectly good. That's perfectly fine. Welcome to the class. Sign in. But side of the vehicle is going to indicate there's a possible path of travel, and that comes from intersections. It comes from parking lots. It comes from driveways. It comes from anywhere. Be very careful with that. Once you see that, you go into orange stage. So we're going to be moving forward right here. And I have multiple concerns. I really do. You know, this person, if we started getting closer, we could have a possible path of travel if they merged into us in their blind spot. But the real pertinent, the real big one, since he has good, space cushion, he's staggered with this vehicle. The big one is this one. That's a scary one right there. Especially when we have an open lane and Rob Johnson became a crew member. Welcome, baby. Okay, so I'm going to go into orange stage. I'm in yellow stage prior to this. Now I'm in orange stage, and I constantly switch back and forth. Yellow, orange, orange, yellow, orange. I do all that. Orange. We're going to be coming out here, and that's going to be scary because, look, as soon as they come out, what do we have? We have no swerve to the left, and we can't accelerate through unless we do some crazy swerve and make our way out. That's scary. So what can we do? We can swerve to go into the Shoppers Drug Mart. We might be able to do that. Pretty bumpy. Might launch us off the bike. Might lose balance and dump it. Or we can decelerate. This is our braking distance right here. Total stopping distance is perception, reaction, and then braking equals total stopping distance. So how is your braking? So when we see these motorcycle close calls and crashes, this right here, this image is what I look at, and I'm like, man, what do I need to practice to get myself out of this? And it's good progressive brake pressure right here. This is going to be a reason why I need to progressively brake, not on a dime, but I need to be confident in my skills and what I can do so I don't go into a panic. So progressively brake before this happens. And that's what he does. Now take a look. Look how, if this person was all the way out, we might have clipped them. So this is why we definitely need to practice our braking. That horn took away some of our movements and some of the things that we should have been doing. We should have been only focused on braking. That's why I think a horn is a wasted movement when it comes to an emergency movement. Same thing with rev bombing. Get yourself out of there with a swerve or with good braking, and then afterwards, when you're in a safe environment, go ahead and honk. Go ahead and rev bomb, whatever you want to do. But get yourself out of there in the first place. What is the first mods you should get for your bike? Sliders. Any type of protection for your bike. I go for protection. That's what I did with my FTR. I got stuff that will protect my bike because who knows? You're riding, and you kick up a rock, right, into your radiator, and it destroys it. But you're riding, you don't even notice it. And all of a sudden, your bike starts overheating and shutting down. And then you're in the middle of a turn when it happens. Boom, you crash possibly. So or it hits your engine oil. Your oil filter, and oil start pouring out. Boom, it hits your rear tire. You slip and slide, and you're down. So I wanted something to protect it. So that's what I start going towards. I start going protection for the bike after I buy the bike, and when I became a rider, I got protection for myself. I always go PPE first, personal protective equipment.